What's up? What's up? It's your boy Fats. Have you ever met someone that you and this individual, y'all clicked up together, y'all just bonded together, y'all friendship just took off like a rocket, and everything between you and this person became tight as a mug? But yeah, I was at Hutchinson Correctional Facility at this time, and they said they was gonna move me to Lansing Correctional Facility to do this reentry program. It's like a 90-day program, and I was going to be getting out in 90 days. So, yeah, it was a minimum institution, but it also, what I'm saying, was dangerous institution as well. So I get there, and when I get there, I get to my little dorm. Now, this dorm is set up like 50 beds on and all in a row, and on the other side is a single bed and double bunks on the other side. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a long little row, and the guard tires right here to where he can't see all the way down here. He can just see, basically up front right here. So I put out all my stuff. I go down there, put it on top bunk and stuff. Got everything kind of, the way that I wanted to put maybe my bed up and stuff like that. So I seen a bunch of people in the back there, and I also could smell smoke and stuff. So I already knew that they was back there smoking. So I went back there to see if I can kind of, get something together, myself or whatever, maybe buy something or whatever for somebody or whatever. So I go back to the back, use the bathroom, washing my hands. And when I'm washing my hands, I come back out. And when I come back out, it's like this dude blocking the door right here. He's like, shit, man, what's up, man? I was like, shit, man, what's up, man? He's like, what's your name, man? I was like, shit, my name is Fats. He was like, shit, my name is Suge, man. I was like, shit, what's up, man? Now I had to kind of look at him, like a little kind of aggressive because the way that he was kind of blocking the door right here made me feel like, something wasn't right with this dude or whatever. So I just felt uncomfortable. So he was like, shit, man, you smoke, man? I was like, shit, yeah, man. He was like, shit, you want to smoke? And I was like, shit, man, ain't going to be no type of funny stuff going on if I smoke or whatever. He started laughing. He was like, boy, boy, I'm telling you, boy, you crazy, boy. You crazy, boy. You think I'm a motherfucker, one of the motherfucking people, don't you? I was like, shit, nah, man, I don't think you one of them people or whatever. He's like, yeah, you do. He's like, you think you one of them motherfucking people, man, for real, man, Fats, man. You know what I'm saying? You think you for real? You think I'm one? I was like, nah, man, I don't think you one of them people, man. I was like, shit, I just got to make sure that shit ain't nothing gonna be kind of funny style, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to that stuff. And he was like, shit, man, it ain't nothing like that, man. You know what I'm saying? On the real, he's like, I'm a cool person, man. I was like, shit, all right, man. So he's like, just sit back here for a sec. I'll be right back. So there's a few other people over there. They started like they was over there laughing. He's like, man, that dude ain't like that, man. You know what I'm saying? He ain't on no funny stuff. He cool. So, cause I guess was hooking them people up and stuff like that. So he come over, should come back, give me the cigarette. He's like, boy, I tell you, boy, you think you wild, boy, you wild. Now Suge was big, he was light skinned. I mean, he had braids and stuff, but his hairline was kind of receded right here. So it was kind of, kind of like that. He had funny color eyes and stuff. He was like, shit, man, no, I ain't like that, man, you know what I'm saying? So I fired a little cigarette, gave it to him. We smoking and stuff for a minute. Boom, I come back out, go back on my little bed. Now, I just got in early in the morning, wake you up at the other institution to get transferred. So I was tired as a mother. So when I get up on my bunk, I'm laying up in there, I actually go to sleep. So, boom. So a few minutes later, that's when somebody hit the bunk right here, say boom, boom, boom. He was like, shit, you going to child, man? I was like, yeah, man. He was like, shit, you almost missed it. You say you over there sleeping, you snoring and stuff. He was like, shit, man, shit, you loud, boy. I'm telling you, boy, I was like, I wasn't snoring that loud. He was like, yeah, you was, man. So I get up. He's like, shit, man, where you gonna be sitting at? You know what I'm saying? Because he already knows how it is. He was like, shit, you can come sit with me. I said, yeah, I'm gonna have to sit with the Muslims and stuff. He was like, oh, you be hanging with the Muslims? I was like, shit, yeah, I'm a Muslim. He was like, damn, man. He was like, shit, I got into it with the Muslim a couple months ago. This dude named Taifa owed me some money and he didn't want to pay me and stuff. And I was like, oh, for real, man? He was like, yeah, man. So he's like, I don't think the Muslims gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? That me me and you kind of hanging out together. And I was like, shit, I for real. And I was like, shit. He was like, we're gonna have to see what gonna happen with that, you know. So I was like, shit, all right, man. So I was like, going out to the table. I'm looking to see where the Muslims at. I see this dude named Jafar. Now I knew Jafar from the hutch, so I kind of know I was gonna go over there and holler at him. I was like, shit, sitting at the table talking to Suge, and he was like, shit, there go one of them over there. You know, you can go over there and holler at him. You know what I'm saying? If you want to. I was like, shit, yeah, let me get over there. So I go over there to Jafar. I was like, looking, seeing. He's like, oh, hey, Hanif, you know what I'm saying? What's up, man? I was like, shit, man, nothing, man. Just got here. He was like, oh, for real? He was like, shit, how long you gonna be here? And I was like, shit, I'm just in this little re-entry program. You know, he was like, oh, okay, yeah, you about to be getting up out of here real soon. I was like, shit, I'll be leaving this shit in like 90 days. And he was like, oh, okay, man, you know. He was like, shit, I seen you, sitting at the table, you know what I'm saying, with that dude over there. And I was like, yeah, that's my little partner, man. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know what I'm saying, kind of hang out with him, you know what I'm saying, just kind of met him. He was like, man, you got to kind of watch him. You know, I was like, man, why you say that? He's like, shit, he already got into it with one of the Muslim brothers over some tobacco and stuff. And I was like, oh, for real? He was like, yep. He's like, shit, I don't know, man. He's like, shit, you really can't be hanging around with that type of person right there. And I was like, shit, all right. He's like, but I'll let you go over there and finish hollering at him. Just go to the Juma service. You can sit at one of these 3 tables right here, and everything will be all good. And I was like, shit. He's like, just go over there, you know what I'm saying, with your little homeboy and figure things out, you know. So I get at the table, and that's when Suge was like, what that motherfucker say? You know, I know he said something crazy or whatever. I was like, shit, he just basically told me that I got to, you know what I'm saying, basically not kind of hang out with you and stuff. And he was like, man, damn, man, that's kind of messed up, you know what I'm saying? I was like, shit, yep. So we get on back to the cube. I go back to my little bunk. I don't go back there and smoke with him, you know what I'm saying? Because I already know what the Muslim said and stuff. So I'm sitting up on the bunk and stuff, just chilling and stuff. He's like, he come back and knock on the bed again. He's like, hey, you think, you know what I'm saying, you can ride with me and do something with me real quick? And I was like, shit, man, what you mean? He was like, shit, just walk. I need you to walk with me, you know what I'm saying, for a second. And I was like, shit, I don't know, man. He was like, man, come on, man, you know what I'm saying, the way they looked at me, you know, it's like, come on, man. Like, he was kind of aggressive. He's like, man, I need somebody, you know what I'm saying, to kind of ride with me and stuff. And I was like, shit, all right, man, I'll ride with you. So I get up out the bunk, go on a walk with him. We walk on down to the chow hall. And then that's when he go in the chow hall and he come back out. And then we walking on back. We get on back to the dorm, and he stopped for a second. He's like, hey, here, I need you to put this in your jacket and stuff, and come on up in the dorm. And I was like, damn, man. I was like, man, what you mean, man? I ain't gonna be doing nothing like that. And I was like, shit, I'm about to go home, man. You know what I'm saying? For real, man. You know, he's like, man, come on, man. Go on and do this. I don't want the guards to come out and see us, you know what I'm saying, right now. You know, he said, just go on ahead, you know what I'm saying, put this in your jacket and let's get on up in here. Let's do this shit quick, fast. And he's like, I was like, shit, all right, man. So I grabbed it, you know what I'm saying, put it in my little jacket. Y'all leave it in the comments. Y'all leave me if I should have done it or not. So I go on in there, I'm like, walk by the guards, scared as a mother, because I already know how it is up in there. So when you walk by the guards, sometimes the guards want to shake you down, and then you losing good time and all that stuff after all that. So I walk by, get on up in there. I'm kind of scared and stuff, you know. Boom. Soon as I get to the put it up, give it to him, that's when I said, you know. So I was like, hey, man, come on, man. I said, man, I don't know what you trying to do or whatever. I was like, shit, man, this is some BS right here. I was like, man, shit, just because I'm new don't mean that you can kind of run a game on me or whatever to do some more bullshit and stuff. So he looked at me. He was like, shit, man, it's all good, man. He said, we got up in here, didn't we? And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, but damn, you put me in the motherfucking crutch 22 right there, bringing all that stuff up in there. And he was like, shit, man, but shit, I had needed somebody to kind of help me out, you know what I'm saying, to kind of do this and stuff. And I was like, shit, damn, man. So then He's like, shit, man, here, man. You know what I'm saying? He gave me a little, one little pouch and stuff. He was like, shit, man, that's a good looking out, man. He's like, man, I really appreciate, you know what I'm saying, you doing that, you know what I'm saying, for me. And I was like, yeah, man, but damn, you put me on the spot and stuff like that. He was like, man, come on, fast, man, this is over now. I got it up in here. He said, now it's just time for me to make this little money and stuff. He was like, shit, I'm going to go on ahead, you know, boom. So then I get the stuff. I'm going back to my little cubicle. I go over, roll me a little thing up, and you know what I'm saying, I go to the back and I'm smoking. And now when I'm back there smoking, I'm like, shit, damn, man. I was like, shit, this man, you know what I'm saying, just brought in probably about 50 pouches of top tobacco. So shit, damn, shit, I be trying to make some money with this motherfucker right here. You know what I'm saying? All type of things is going through my head because shit, if he already done been doing this shit down in Hutch already, so shit, me coming here, he's gonna be do basically be doing the same thing. So I was like, shit, all right, man. So I said, I'm gonna holler at him, man. You know what I'm saying? See what's gonna kind of, you see if he can kind of, you know, put me up on game and stuff like that. So then that's when I was finished smoking and he came back there. He was like, oh, you already rolled one up, didn't you? And I was like, yeah. He was like, shit, you want to sit back here, you know what I'm saying, watch it, want to make sure the police don't ride up on me. So I was like, shit, all right. So I'm sitting back there, you know, just looking at him smoking this little cigarette and stuff. So then the next day, I go to breakfast and stuff. So when I get to breakfast, I sit at the table with the Muslim. I see, you know what I'm saying, Suge over there sitting solo by herself and stuff like that. So then on the way back out, that's when Suge walked up on the side of me. You know, he was like, shit, man, what's up, man? I was like, shit, man, what's up, man? So then while we was walking, this other guy, you know what I'm saying, started walking towards him and they stopped for a second. So when they stopped, I kind of stopped too, you know what I'm saying, just because that's the way we was walking and stuff. So the dude was like, shit, man, come on, Suge, man, just look out for us one time, man. You know what I'm saying? He's like, we all bloods, you know what I'm saying? Suge was like, man, I don't care, man. I ain't rocking with y'all, you know what I'm saying? Just because y'all bloods and I'm a blood, you know what I'm saying, don't mean that, you know, I'm a fuck with y'all, you know what I'm saying, on this, you know what I'm saying? He said, y'all got to find your own connect, you know what I'm saying? He said, 'cause I kind of, you know what I'm saying, basically ride solo or whatever. So he was like, man, just push on, man. So they just walk off, and when he walk off, I'm walking with him, but I don't say nothing about the little conversation, you know what I'm saying, about them what he just had right now. So then I get back up to the dorm, we back there smoking and stuff, and then that's when I asked him, I was like, shit, you blood? He was like, yeah, man, you know. He said, I'm blood. I was like, shit, all for real. He said, I'm 20 Pyru, and I was like, damn, man, you know. Basically, you know what I'm saying, I was just recognized that he was a gang member. So he was like, shit, yeah, I be moving, you know what I'm saying, tobacco and stuff up in his drugs and all that. I was like, oh, for real, man? He was like, yeah. So then he got to gave me basically the rundown on what he be doing and stuff up in there. So then he was like, shit, man, I don't really rock with them dudes, you know what I'm saying? Because shit, once you start, everybody start getting involved, it's like I basically make less money. He said, I'm trying to make all the money. He's like, shit, they always need some type of help and they always want to be banging with other individuals. He said, I ain't trying to be doing all that. I'm just basically trying to just be myself, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to that, fats, man, on the real, man. Because shit, these niggas around here don't be, you know, respecting the game when it comes to certain things. So I just stayed to myself and I was like, oh, for real, man? So then he was like, shit, man, this motherfucking crazy ass motherfucking game around here. And I was like, yeah, man, speaking of the game, man, I said, I see that you be making a little moves and stuff. You think I can, you know what I'm saying, basically get in with you, you know what I'm saying, and kind of do something with you. He said, because I'm about to be getting out. He was like, shit, oh yeah, man. He's like, shit, you coming with, you know what I'm saying, it's little dividends, you know what I'm saying? Everything will be all good, you know. He said, I can put you on and we all can make some money and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, for real, man? He was like, yeah, man. He's like, man, I ain't no hater, man, you know. If you got the money, you know, I got to connect and everything will be all good, you know what I'm saying? I was like, shit, all right, man. So like I said, you know, we got that out couple days, you know what I'm saying? So everything was gonna be all good. So on Friday when I go to Juma, they tell me they like, hey, Hanif, you've been doing some stuff around the compound. We've been hearing rumors about you doing this and doing that. And I was like, oh, for real, man, They was like, what I'm saying, we already told you that we don't want you kind of hanging with that dude, you know what I'm saying, but you still kind of hanging with him. So what we going to do is we going to shun you from the community, you know what I'm saying, for 30 days, and I was like, shit, I'll be leaving before 30 days, And they was like, yeah, but we're going to shun you from the community, and whatever happens to you, happens to you. We ain't got no type of, you know what I'm saying, uh, back when it comes to that. And I was like, shit, all right, man, you know what I'm saying? So I get up after Juma, I go back to the dorm, and then when I get back to the dorm, I'm like, shit, I guess the Muslims don't want to rock with me no more. And he was like, shit, all for real. He was like, shit, what happened, man? He's like, basically, they telling me that since I've been hanging with you, they don't want me to be a part of that community anymore. And I was like, shit, but it's all good. I got shunned from the community. He was like, oh, for real, man? Damn, man. You know what I'm saying? Damn, fast, man. That's kind of messed up. You know what I'm saying? He was like, shit, but man, you still could ride together. You know what I'm saying? I was like, shit, all right, man. You know what I'm saying? I just started laughing and stuff at him. He was like, man, it's going to be all right, man. Ain't nobody going to do nothing to you. You ain't got to worry about nobody, you know what I'm saying, putting their hands on you or anything like that. I was like, shit, all right. He's like, man, I got your back when it comes to that. I was like, shit, for real, man. He was like, yeah, man. He's like, man, you cool as a bug, man. He said, man, I got so much love for you, you know what I'm saying, for right now, man. He's like, I don't even, you know what I'm saying, know how to explain it. And I was like, damn, man. I was like, man, shit, man, what happened? He's like, man, I just, something about you, man, that I kind of like, man, you know what I'm saying. I was like, shit, damn, you know. So me and him, you know what I'm saying, like I said, we sitting at the tables doing everything together and stuff like that, just hanging out, you know what I'm saying, busting moves here, busting moves there, you know what I'm saying. He's turning me on to people, you know what I'm saying. I was kind of happy with this whole situation. So then we come up with a plan of how we're gonna do things and stuff when we get out and stuff and everything like that. So then he was like, shit, hey man, it's getting real close to you getting out, man, you know what I'm saying? So I know you made a little money and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I made a little money, you know what I'm saying? I was kinda happy because I did make a little money, you know what I'm saying? He was like, shit. He was like, shit, all right, man. He was like, shit, man, I just hope that you look out for me like you said we was going to do, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, everything's going to be all right, man. I'm told you, man, I'm going to look out for you. He was like, shit, all right, man, you know what I'm saying? He was just kind of concerned and stuff, you know what I'm saying, looking at me, you know what I'm saying, all the time and stuff, you know what I'm saying, with the look on his face like I wasn't going to fuck with him when I got out and stuff like that. But I really was, you know, because like I said, you know what I'm saying, from the gate, me and him kind of linked up, you know what I'm saying, and we just rolled with the punches and how things went. So then on the day when I was leaving, you know what I'm saying, he came around to the little bunker out there. He's like, boy, it's your day, you know what I'm saying. I was like, yep, it is my day. He was like, shit, I'm glad you know what I'm saying, you leave, and I hope that, you know what I'm saying, when you get out, you know what I'm saying, everything will be all cool. You do what you say you're going to do, you know what I'm saying. I was like, shit, I'm going to do it, man, you know what I'm saying, on the real, man. He was like, shit, all right, man. So then I get all my stuff, you know what I'm saying, go to the door, you know what I'm saying, turn around, look at him and say, I told you, boy, I ain't like that, you know what I'm saying. I told you, boy, I ain't like that, you know what I'm saying. But you might want to watch part two to see what happened once I got out.